Hello, my name is Father Tony Stevens. I am the rector here at the National Shrine of Our Lady of Champion. I belong to a religious order called the Fathers of Mercy, and I would like to welcome all of the Maria Vision viewers here to the Shrine of Our Lady of Champion. It is really a privilege to be the rector here at the Shrine of Our Lady of Champion. It is the only approved Marian apparition site in the United States of America. Of course, there's other sites here on the North American continent, Guadalupe, the chief site. But we're very blessed that Our Lady appeared here to Adele Brise, the visionary, in 1859, on October the 9th, 1859. She appeared as Adele was walking to a grist mill and was just walking along a path really through the woods here in northeastern Wisconsin. And she really Adele had a deep faith herself and was not particularly well educated, but she was a woman who had great faith and was instructed by the Blessed Mother through the message that came through on October the 9th, 1859, that Adele was to be a missionary and a catechist. And the Blessed Mother told Adele to go and to tell the children what they needed to know for salvation, really to teach them. And one of the things, teach them the sign of the cross, teach them everything they need to know for the salvation of their soul, because at the time, there were not many churches in the area. This part of Wisconsin there were many Belgian immigrants who had come and settled here, but there had not yet been many missionary priests to come to set up churches and chapels. And so some of the people were losing their faith, and they were really losing their Catholic identity. And this was becoming a problem. Now, Adele herself, very faithful, her family was very faithful, and they would walk 10 to 12 miles to go to Mass on a weekly basis. And on the day that Adele received one of the apparitions, she was on her way to Mass. And so her faith meant a great deal to her, and it made perfect sense. It seems like the Blessed Virgin Mary, she chooses those who have a very simple faith, but a very deep faith, to appear to them. As a priest, I'm always a little bit, sheepish or saddened, because Our Lady chooses to appear to children and just very simple, hardworking people. It's never to the popes and the bishops and the priests. And so I don't know what that says about popes and bishops and priests. We need to keep praying. But the beauty of that Our Lady has a great love of those who have just a simple and persevering faith. And that's what Adele had, was a very simple and persevering faith. And so immediately Adele began the mission of teaching and catechizing. For about 6 years, Adele traveled around in Door County and the peninsula, where this area where we are right now is just next to Lake Michigan and Green Bay. And she would go to farms and she would catechize children at night. But the benefit of teaching the children their faith, simple things like their prayers, the sign of the cross, helping to prepare them for their first Holy Communion and their first confession, the parents were also listening to what it was that Adele was teaching them. And so there was a twofold catechesis that was going on. First to the children, but secondarily reminding the parents of what they had learned. And it was an admonition in some cases for them also to return when possible, to return to the faith. And so Adele, she traveled around and really was tireless for 6 years, until a priest had told her, maybe you should set up a school in one spot and have the children come to you in order to continue that education, which is what she did. And so Adele began a school here at this site because her father had built a small chapel to commemorate the spot where the Blessed Virgin Mary had appeared. And a little school was set up. And so for over 30 years, Adele taught and was a catechist. And she was never a fully professed religious who had the vows, but she did wear a religious habit, and she and women who joined her little group of Franciscan sisters. They wore a Franciscan religious habit. And they taught children, and they had kids who came and they boarded them here, and they did just a great work for many years in passing on the faith. And the chapel itself, there was a smaller chapel that they eventually took down, and they built a second chapel, and then a third chapel. And the chapel we're standing in today is actually the fourth chapel that was built here on the site where the Blessed Mother appeared to Adele. The fact that there have been so many people whose faith has really been energized and enlivened by their visits to this spot, because for years people had come to pray at this chapel where Our Lady appeared to Adele, but many Americans don't realize that there is an approved Marian apparition in the United States of America. And it was in 2010 that Bishop David Ricken, the current bishop of this diocese, gave approval for, after an extensive process of study and in cooperation with the Vatican, they were able to assess that yes, this is an event that is of supernatural origin, that it is an event that Our Lady certainly appeared here. And so since then, especially since the approval of the apparition, it has been really a beautiful place of pilgrimage for many people. It's been a spot of pilgrimage for many years, but there have been an increase in those who have come as a pilgrimage site. This year has been declared a Jubilee Year by our late Holy Father, Pope Francis. Here in the Diocese of Green Bay, the Shrine of Our Lady of Champion is a Jubilee pilgrimage site, along with the cathedral and the parish of St. Pius X in Appleton, Wisconsin. And so there's an opportunity to come here and to pray and to receive special Jubilee graces and a Jubilee indulgence if pilgrims would like to come here, and they can pray for the needs and intentions of the Holy Father, who currently we are between Holy Fathers. We pray for Pope Francis, but still to pray for the repose of the Holy Father's soul, I know would be adequate to fulfill that part of that requirement for the indulgence, and to go to Mass and receive the Holy Eucharist, to try to go to confession within 20 days of coming to the Jubilee site, and to also have no attachment to venial sin, and certainly confess your mortal sins, and no attachment to venial sin, no willful attachment to sin, and also to make a profession of faith. And so this is being able to come to a site like this that is so prayerful, that's so simple, that's so quiet, and the fact that the Blessed Virgin Mary appeared here, it is such a blessing for pilgrims to be able to come here, because we have Mass and confessions every day. We have a time of Eucharistic exposition for 3 hours every day. We pray the Chaplet of Divine Mercy every day. And so the prayer life here at the shrine really enhances a pilgrim's opportunity to make the most of this Jubilee Year of Hope.